musicians who are really originally just creators struggle with doing a lot of things, especially with the fact that there's limited finances for them to be able to hire a team of experts to help them achieve all of this. So um, for me, Plekxa isn't just about solving a problem. So we're about building a career that you can live off of.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to Plekxa Studio. My name is Olotu Oluwafunke. I'm the host for today's podcast, and with me in the studio is Mr. Anthony Igomina, the CEO of Plekxa. Um, okay, today our podcast will be on the topic how Plekxa is empowering independent artists. All right, I don't know if our guest has one or two things he wants to talk about before we go into the questions proper.
Um, it's nice being able to talk about what we have created so far. And I'm just glad I'm here to share my experiences and successes we've been able to achieve so far with Plexer and how that affects creators and musicians.
Interesting, interesting. So I'll be starting with the questions now. My first question is,
Um, so, a couple of years ago, um, I set out to promote my music, and I encountered a lot of problems, ranging from finances to my team to lack of knowledge to gatekeepers in the industry, how things are done, how you needed to get on radio, and a lot of different things that you needed to find success in the music industry. And I started to explore other industries. And you see that, for example, with sports or with the movie industry, um, it is not just about an individual. And you look at a lot of industries where you have people wanting to do things on an individualized level, like let's say some sports like golf, or let's even say comedy. You see that there is and music right now. It is more difficult to find success because you're basically operating like an entrepreneur. You have to build a product, you have to find product market fit, you have to find your ideal customers, and then you have to consistently try to engage with them, build a brand around that. And musicians that just want to create, musicians who are really originally just creators, struggle with doing a lot of things, especially with the fact that there's limited finances for them to be able to hire a team of experts to help them achieve all of this. So um, for me, Plekxa isn't just about solving a problem and creating something for shareholders to benefit from. It is about solving my problem as a creator, and then seeing how the solution can expand and help other creators and musicians as well build a sustainable career. In quote, sustainable, because there's a difference between building a career and building a sustainable career, because you can have a career that just peaks and then plunge back downwards. So we're about building a career that you can live off of, and then you can take care of your family and be proud to call yourself a professional musician. So the vision for Plekxa is about helping creators build sustainable careers, um, where parents can believe that if a child says, I want to become a musician, it isn't just a thing of uncertainty anymore. It becomes a thing where if you're actually good enough and you're able to put in the work, then you can find success. Okay, um, growing a fan base um, is one thing. Publicity, you need publicity to build a fan base. And a lot of times, when you do marketing, you're looking at what is the objective. So far, musicians have been pushed into this whole thing of wanting to do numbers, number of streams, how many million streams do you have on streaming platforms. And at the end of the day, you have to look at, are you growing? Are you able to generate enough revenue to take care of yourself and your family? So, um, With Plekxa, we by helping musicians find publicity, not on an individualized level. So just like you can audition for a movie, and then you get into a movie, if you perform well, other directors will want to put you on other movies. And then slowly and steadily, you get to build a career where people believe in what you do, where people trust that this person is good enough. Same thing happened in sports. A young player doesn't just bust into the team. They get introduced into the team from 10 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe in the second half. And then over time, when they are able to show consistency and quality, then they become the superstars of the team. So that's what we're hoping to achieve, where your career isn't solely based on what you can do as a person. So with Plekxa, you can audition for projects. And then when accepted into this project, these projects are promoted. These projects have specific smart goals that are set before the project even starts. And then we try to achieve those goals. In doing that, by featuring in one, two, three, four, five projects, you start to build your fan base. More people start to listen to you. You get seen by a lot more people, and then you generate revenue off this project as well. And the revenue isn't purely based on yourself, like, oh, my song trended or my song didn't trend, so I made money or I didn't make money. This is about the project entirely. Is the project successful? Is a song in the project successful? It might be your song, it might not be yours, but by being part of the project, you get to earn off this project. So when we talk about sustainability, this is a more stable way to earn, one. And then also with the fact that you're appearing on different projects with different fan base, there is cross promotion between all the creators in the project. And there's also the inorganic reach that we are pushing through promotions and marketing. Then your fan base and people who enjoy what you do get to see you from one, two, three, four, five projects, and slowly you start to get build your own fan base for you to decide on what you want to do, whether you want to move into the traditional way of musicians getting signed to a label or continue in the sustainable path, or you want to go independent, whatever way you feel is necessary for yourself. Collaboration isn't a new thing. I feel personally that um, at the inception, we looked at institutions like the hospitals or a school, and you see that if doctors operated independently, a lot of them would be financially unstable because the liability from maybe someone dying or something going wrong with a surgery or something, or marketing their own business, trying to get customers. And then these people came together in an institution called a hospital where they can all find financial stability, they can be protected legally, and they can render services to the consumer. The consumer can trust in this institution. So I feel like sharing is an integral part of growth. Um, so with Plekxa, we also looked at industries like the art industry or even music back then. You see that artists like Leonardo da Vinci or Picasso, a lot of times people look at their work and say, this person did their stuff alone, but you didn't look at the story of where they worked under somebody. And then they did one of two things, like they talk about Leonardo painting the angel and the dog in a particular painting. And then you look at how they collaborated with other creators. People got to see what they could do. They built trust, and then they moved all of that into building their own career. So collaboration is essential as when people talk about collaboration, most times is, oh, I featured this artist or I didn't feature this artist. But I feel like collaboration can be more. Collaboration can be different people coming together to create a project that sells a particular thing or communicates a particular message to the listener. And then they don't just collaborate with creatively, they collaborate financially as well by pulling resources together. So with collaboration, things get easier to achieve. The risk is evenly split between different creators. There's a higher chance of finding success since each with cross promotion they can all bring their different small fan bases together and increase the chances of generating revenue off this big project. Another thing in business, talk about competitive rivalry. And then when there is excessive supply, price drops, and demand also is affected. So what happens now is, because the barrier to entry for music is very low, anybody wakes up and say, I'm a musician, they make music, and then there's thousands of music released on Spotify and other DSPs every single day. What then happens is people only listen to a small fraction of that. So with all of this demand that people can supply, that people cannot particularly listen to, it kills the value of music. So by bringing people to collaborate on specific stuff, it kind of reduces the number of content, to the amount of content that is being released on a day-to-day basis, allowing people to focus on things, high quality projects, and also helping to improve the perception of what music is to these listeners and help them to value it a little bit more. Okay. A lot of what is happening right now is musicians complaining about being signed to a label, the unfair deals that they're getting, and all of that. And while we look at that and say sometimes that you saw the deal and you decided to sign it out of desperation, we also look at it from another perspective, which is um, what is the alternative? So, and then you see people saying that they want to go independent. When you go independent, you have the resources then. You have the team, you have the knowledge to execute all of these things that the label would normally do for you. No. So with Plekxa, because the focus isn't on a particular artist and building a brand around an artist so that the label can find profitability, it is about, just like a movie, it's about building something that can stand on its own, that means something to the listener. And then all of these creators come together to build this thing. So um, by doing that, we do not have to get these creators signed to a contract where they're exclusive with Plekxa. You basically have to sign up to the platform, um, get a membership if necessary. Some projects are free. If you're using a free project, audition for the project. If you're accepted into the project, you collaborate on that project. The project is released, you get a piece of the project, and that's it. You get paid off this project for life. The percentage that was stated in the project details. If you decide to go on auditioning for new projects, that's perfect. If you decide to step out and continue releasing music the way you like, same, perfect as well. So there is no restriction on what you can do, or if you are legally tied to us for a period of time or not. You're just free to explore the platform, find projects, and create. Another thing I like to touch on is um, limits or creators complaining that they are being held back by the label creatively. Why that is true in certain cases, we can say that um, sometimes it makes sense to do that, especially with the fact that in our research so far, we have seen that a lot of the greatest paintings are not born out of abstract expressions from these artists. They are actually commissioned projects. Maybe the Pope of that time commissioned Da Vinci to create a sculpture or a painting or something. I think even the Mona Lisa is a painting of that was commissioned by someone. But then a lot of creators want to just be left alone to do whatever they want. But sometimes the label needs to look from the perspective of not just creative expression, but marketability as well, and then find that balance. I feel like somehow they have to be a box, and then you can operate freely within that box than just saying, I need freedom to express myself however I feel. Yes, it might work for you in a different system, but with Plexa, what we try to do is create a thing that communicates something. What we try to ask is, from the listener's perspective, why should I listen to this project? A lot of times, a lot of projects are just, oh, because it is Fireboy, or because it is Doja Cat, or Moneylong, or someone. That's why they're listening to the project. He has nothing. Um, but we want a project that means something to them. If they ask themselves, why am I listening to this? There is something, they can answer the question. And then it's not dependent or hanging on one person. So when we do that, we create a basket and put you in this basket that basically says, this is what we want to achieve here, but you are free to express this feeling however you feel. So I feel like there has to be a balance between um, there has to be some form of limit as to how creative you can get and how that affects the quality of the project as well. Okay. Um, so the base of Plekxa, what we do is um, we create opportunities for you to get discovered through these projects. We have different ranges of projects from free projects to premium projects um, that are curated to specific themes. Sometimes include A-list artists or artists that we feel like is able to help communicate or drive this message home. And then we open it up. We open a lot of the verses. We open a lot of the parts, not just music, but podcasts and shows sometimes. We open them up for people to be able to express themselves in it as well. And what this does is it's like getting a seat in an airplane. So what a lot of musicians are trying to do basically is get a private jet, but you can't afford a private jet. So what we're trying to do is get you a seat in a commercial airline. At the end of the day, the most important thing is getting to the destination. So we are trying to get you to a destination where you are found publicity and growth. And then you can monetize all of this and also get enough of these projects. So um, we offer opportunity that help to get you publicity, that help to get you growth, that help to get you stable revenue coming from different projects that you might be involved in throughout the year or throughout your lifetime, because some projects get in continuously. It is not dependent on your own success. You see musicians come up, make a lot of money, and then die out, and then that's the end of the career. So with this, it is more stable, as you, it's not 100% based on you. You might be hot this month, and you might not be hot next month. You might be hot this year, you might not be hot next year. But feeding off each other's energy basically helps to stabilize the water for everyone and ensures that people get in um, on a stable basis. Also, we get to introduce other opportunities like events, like content exclusive tutorials with industry professionals that will help you suck up this energy. It's like we are bringing publicity and growth to you, but if you do not absorb it properly, you will see that you get the publicity is like trending on TikTok for one day and then it disappears. So you have to be able to absorb this energy to build your brand and then be able to monetize the brand as well. So we bring out content to help you, exclusive content to help you with that. We have events, live events based on specific regions that can help you achieve that as well. And then we can get, we also offer some kind of services, products sometimes that can also help you build a sustainable career. But everything is geared towards helping the creators build a sustainable career, something that they can hold themselves to and call themselves I am a musician and it is a respectable career for me.